guys, back at you guys again with another video with DIY with the Joneses. All right, so today what we're going to be doing is building a picture frame to go up along the wall. So go ahead and show the wall. So it'll be going up along that wall. So right now it'll be about 4 feet long, 3 feet tall. I'm sorry, yeah, about 4 feet long, about 3 feet tall. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight into the video, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it is that we will actually be using today. All right, so today, as you can see, so I already have the pieces cut out. So I went to Lowe's and got these woods. So it took me 2 pieces of 2x4, 8 feet long. So these are about $3.53 at Lowe's. So it cost me about $7 with military discount. So it was about $8, almost no more than $9 after taxes for the two boards. So I got one board, since they're 8 feet long, one board cut into 4 feet a piece, which are my long ones. And then the 2 side ones was on my second 8 foot long board, which were 3 feet long a piece. So that just gave it the height of the actual board. And also what you will need is, this is called a pocket hole set. So all of these pieces right here is what comes in the actual kit, and that kit is about $25. So with that, it comes with the actual drill piece. This is for the screws. That is the depth. This is an attachment that goes onto the actual drill itself. And I'll show you guys exactly how to use that once we get started and we start going through it. Also, you'll need a drill. This is going to be used to cut my background with. Here's the screws for the pocket holes. So you need these screws. These work especially good with this, because as you can see, back this up a little bit. So this is basically a square head. So it's a square head, so you won't be able to use it. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe you can see it there. You can see it better on the actual picture. So this is a square head. So it's not just a regular Phillips or a flathead. It's the square head. And that's used for this actual pocket hole. Once we actually drill it, you'll see what that looks like. Also, we used some regular screws, and this is the flathead Phillips wood screws, number 8, and it's 1.5 inch long. So we got those, and we got all of our stuff, so now we're gonna jump straight into it. Let's go. All right, guys. So just to get started, so what I did already, as you seen when I was explaining, I basically just lined it up and just mapped it out exactly how I wanted it. So from this step, all you do, so at Lowe's, when you go get the 8 foot ones, you just get them to cut it. If you have a table saw, if you have a circular saw or a regular saw, and you want to cut them down to the size that you want, this is just the size that I'm using. At the end of this video, I will go ahead and put up another picture of one of the other ones that I've already done. This one's gonna have a grass background, and the one that I had, it just has a wood look background. But what you can get it cut down to any length. That one that I got, that will be in the end of the video. It's about 3 feet, or not even 3 feet, about 2 feet wide and 2 feet long. So it's about a square, a perfect square, or a circular square, or something like that. But this one is just a little bit bigger, just to take up more space for more of the wall decor. So yeah, so what you want to do is you want to go start off with your first little measuring thing. So what you do with this piece is, it looks like a little T. Like I said, you get this from a Lowe's, and it comes in a kit. It's a pocket hole jigsaw kit, or whatever thing, jigamabob. So what you do with this is you just basically line it up to the side of the board, and as you see, this goes down to about 1.5. So I'll take that, line it up along, and wherever the board stops is how deep you want to get your board to. So you take that in your mind, that 1.5, then you get your your drill. So here's your drill, and on the front on the drill, it has numbers. So the numbers are 1/2, 3/4, and then 1.5. So you probably can't see it. It's probably a little blurry, but you can see it a little bit. But when you get it and you go through the steps, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So then you take this little circle and drop it on down. And the depth of our board that we need is 1.5. So I'll take it and cover it right over top of the 1.5. Then I'll take my little T measuring thing, and in the black little hole, just tighten it up on that 1.5. So just get it a little hand tight, and then boom, it sticks onto it. And then what you'll do is get your impact drill or your regular drill, attach it on as such. Get your boards. So my boards are already laid out to how I want them to go. So what you'll do is, I'll take this and I'll show you guys. So what you want to do is you want to get your boards lined up to how you want them to get drilled. So I want my holes, pocket holes, to go from here inside. So you'll see what I mean once I get them drilled. So I want my pocket holes to be going here. So I want my nails to be going into the long board. So this is my long board. This is my width board. I want it to go from here to here. So I'll get my jigsaw or my pocket hole thing, and this is just like another attachment for it. Get this, and on this, as you can see, it has the same numbers. So the 1/2 inch, 3/4, and the 1.5. On the back of it, it has a little flap, and you just basically move that flap, push down on it, and move it to wherever you want. So you want the little gray spot inside of it. So you see it's gray on the back. You want that gray spot to be closed on whichever one you're gonna be using. So I'm gonna be using the 1.5. So I push down and put it all the way set so that the gray is shown in the 1.5. And then these two, 1 and 2, are showing empty. And then the gray is shown in the 1.5, right? Put you guys back up here. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and take this piece. It's all set. Take this piece, it's all set, and I'll have this piece. So this piece sitting on the edge of the board as such. So you see how it hangs off a little bit? So that gray little tab, get closer for you guys. So it's a gray little tab, as you see here, sits on the edge of it. And then I'll just line it up to wherever I want my hose to go. And it works best in my little area that I'm working in now, because I'm at the actual shop, I'm not at my workshop where I normally do all my projects at. I'm at the actual shop, her wax bar. So I'm doing it in a room. This room is what we're gonna be actually setting up and getting set up for her business. So I'm just gonna hold it, but it works best when you put it on a table and you have an actual clamp to hold it down, so that way your hands are not in the way. But I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing. So I'll just move it back so that way you can see what I'm doing. If you don't have if you don't have a table and a clamp, you can just do it the same way I'm doing it. All right, so you guys can see. So I found where I want my hole to go. And you always want to make sure when you're doing this, while you're drilling, you want to go in and out. You don't want to just drill straight down into it. You want to come up, you want to come in and out of that hole. So the back end of it looks like this, and the thing goes in like that as such. But you want to go in and out just to give that clean hole. And while you guys are watching this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe this video, because like I said, I got a bunch more DIYs with that I got in my head. It's just the time, and I'm just basically trying to get you guys accustomed to it and get you guys engaged. If you guys see any or think of anything that you want to see built or to help you learn how to build it, man, make sure you drop it in the comments as well. So let's get back. So I got them drilled on this side, so what I'm just gonna do, just basically flip them over and get them done on this side. All right, so I'm done. So this is what it'll look like. So it's just little pocket holes, and this will be on the back side, so you'll only see this side. But this side, I didn't want to buy a long board or a long screw to drill in. So in order for me to cheat, this is like a little cheat. So the nail's gonna basically start here and drill straight in from the middle of the board into the next board. So I got that on that side, and then not on that side. So what I'll go ahead and do, I'm just gonna fast forward. You'll see me doing them, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do all the other boards to get them all screwed up and well, pocket hold and everything. So let me jump to that, and you can just watch.
One eternity later.
All right, guys. So just a friendly reminder, the sideboards, the ones that are 3 feet long, don't need pocket holes. So I got pocket hole happy, and I drilled holes in the other ones, which shouldn't be a problem, but they don't need them. Just the 2 long boards need them. So all you need is a total of 8 holes, which is 4 on one, the bottom one, 4 on the top one, or 2 on each side. You can put 3 if you want to squeeze 3 in there, however many you feel comfortable with, but 2 should do the trick. So yeah, so on the sideboards, you don't need to drill holes on them. I just got pocket hole happy doing it, but you don't need them. All right, so what we're gonna do for the next step is build our frame. So what I'm gonna do is get this bottom line and just get it all lined up, basically how I want it. Make sure they're all even, and that way they're not uneven and like one side of the board is longer than another. Just measure them before I do drill them into each other, so that way I know that they're fine. So I got them all measured out and everything already, and cut to the right sizes, which you should do that before you do the pocket holes. So what I'm gonna go ahead and is drill. So I'm gonna get these screws, the ones with the actual square head. These are pocket hole screws. So it literally says at the top, pocket hole screws. And you have to buy these when you buy that kit. And they're literally right next to the kit. When you buy the kit, these screws are right next to it. So go ahead and get out these screws for you guys. And you get your impact. This is your attachment that comes with the kit, so you don't have to worry about finding and purchasing one of these. It comes with the kit. Go ahead and attach that onto the thing, and then screw them in. So you just take this screw that it comes with. So you want to make sure you get the right screws. So mine is about a 1.5 inch deep. So you want to get about 2. I say about 2.5 works good. The smaller the boards, the shorter your holes, the shorter your screw, obviously. So you just take your measurements. But the ones that I'm using, these 2.5s, work perfect for it. So I'll go ahead and, like I said, for all of these, when I built the other one, I had clamps. I was in my shop when I built it. It was a smaller board, so I was able to transport it. This one, I had to do it here because I only have a car, and it's kind of a little difficult to transport a big frame like this. But without further ado, just go ahead and get them screwed. It works better when you have clamps, so you can keep it in place, and that way it doesn't move. So I'm gonna try my best to keep them in place and get them all screwed together. So I got them all drilled in. So it just took me, what, 8 screws to get them all drilled in. And this is what it looks like. So I got my frame. And then you turn it around. So you see all my holes on this side. So when I turn it around, you don't see any screws. And this will be the front end of my board. But you don't see any holes. So we should be good to go. Yeah. Squared away. All right, guys. So I'm back, and what I got here that's on the floor behind me on this green piece, not that light green piece, that's carpet. This is like a carpet as well. It's just like a turf floor. So I have scraps, so that's what I'm using. But this is at Home Depot. I'll put a link in the description for this, but it's about, I want to say $6.72 a yard, or you just figure out how big you need it. All you do is take the width of your board, so you just measure from the width and then the height, and then times that, and then I give you your square yardage, your square footage, should I say. And then you just take that to Home Depot, and they'll find out how many yards you actually need. Like I said, I have scraps, so I got mine for free. But we did pay for the actual wall that we have back in the back. So what I'm gonna do is basically see how big I need it. So all it's gonna do is just basically screw on. So I'll get this and show this to you guys. So all it's basically gonna do is just screw on to the back of this actual frame. So that way you see this part on the other side. So you'll see it once it's finished and finalized and everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it cut and then screwed on to the back of that. So you guys can watch me do that. So I got my piece that I need cut out. So what I'm gonna do is get that my frame, lay my frame face down to where my holes are looking at me. Lay this on my frame as such, and then lay it down to the best of my ability. Just want to make sure that the pieces could fit, basically fit good. So what I'm gonna do is, because this back frame is not like a regular flat like board frame, it's flimsy as a carpet. So I'm gonna start on one side, put some screws in, so that way once I get to the other side, I can stretch it as far as I can to keep that frame, that backboard, smooth and stiff. So that when I flip it over, it gives that good flat look. So now I'm using these. So I'm gonna start on this side, this far side. I'll start on this side with you guys. No, I'll just start on that side. Start on that side and give about 4 or 5 screws on this side just to make sure it's tight, and then I'll go ahead and pull it tight. So I have my one side screwed down tight enough, so I'll just go over to the other side and pull tight. Alright, so I got that side screwed down. It's pretty tight. Give it a little thing. I'm still going to do on the tops and bottoms just so that way I know it's good. Alright, so now that I got that screwed in, I'll just take a couple more screws and just go around and just secure it a little bit more. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you're satisfied with how it looks now, go for it. But for me, just to give me a peace of mind, I'm going to go ahead and screw more down. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So you see how I have gaps? You still see the wood on the back side. It doesn't matter. It's just the backboard of it. Once it's flipped over, you won't even see that. So it's fine. You don't have to get it perfect. Just get a rough estimate. All right. So now that it's done, time for the final view of it. Ta-da! So now, there you have it, picture frame, and you can do whatever you want on the front. So, nice little background. Like I said, frame. And you have your background. You can put a glow light on this. You can put, try to find some type of vinyl. You can get something sewn onto this. Whatever you wanted to put on it. Flowers, leaves, staple it. Whatever you feel is necessary to put on it, you can go ahead and put on it. And you can have any kind of backboard. I just chose this backboard for this one. But yeah. So if you guys like this, like I said earlier in the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you help this channel out. And just like the video, help me get into the recommended videos. Like the video, share it, comment, subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you guys a dime. You don't have to sign up for anything. As long as you have a profile, go ahead and subscribe. But without further ado, here's that board. You spent maybe no more than 50 bucks. If you already have all the equipment that you need, but if you don't, if you have to buy the equipment, no more than about 100 bucks to build a frame. And then once you have the equipment, it's about 20, 30 bucks every time you want to build one of these things. Just depending on if you have scrap backboard or wood. And then these are, like I said, $3 a piece. So yeah, so without further ado, guys are out. Thanks for watching.